So Chris Paul, for those of you who did not see this, is now a member of the San Antonio Spurs. So he will be teaming up with Victor Wembanyama. Wemby is like my number one favorite sports card investment. The formula likes just about all of Wemby's cards. So go check out the formula-based rankings at nooffseason.com. But just in general, I mean, everybody's going to want Wemby cards for a long time. And you got to have the appeal, right? And I think we talked about performance spikes a minute ago and how they can impact card prices even more than the hype. So when you combine the hype with the performance spikes, you get like the Paul Skeens, you get the Anthony Edwards effect back in May, you get the Paul Skeens effect now. We see it all the time with a lot of players. It's hard to thread that needle, but I'm here to tell you, I'm going to flag plant right now in the middle of this. Victor Wembanyama will see the most performance spikes next basketball season. So I love Victor Wembanyama and Chris Paul. The addition of Chris Paul, I think, helps Victor Wembanyama's value. But I also, why? Because I think the Spurs are going to be a winning team next year. I think with Chris Paul, Greg Popovich, Victor Wembanyama, they added Stephon Castle, who might be one of my new favorite players. That is yet to be determined. It'll help if PSA gems the 2 Stephon Castle cards I sent in that I'm waiting for grades on. But I love Stephon Castle as the number 4 overall pick. I wish they would have kept Rob Dillingham, but they dealt for Chris Paul instead. So let's look at Chris Paul's pricing, though, because he's kind of similar to the next 2 guys I'm going to talk about also. They're kind of all of Chris Paul's ilk. But Paul, his 2005 Topps Chrome base raw, just the raw is up $35 since the news that he went to the Spurs. So that's 223% increase. Sell Chris Paul. His 2012 Prism base PSA 9 is up $6, but that's 124%. So when you think of like, how easy is it to move a Chris Paul card? It's probably not going to be that easy in the future. He doesn't have that many more selling markers unless he takes the Spurs to a title, which would just absolutely blow the top off of the sports card market for Wemby and for Chris Paul. I just don't see many more opportunities to sell Chris Paul for a profit.